What is going on? You are lovely individuals. According to my perspective, XRP and HBAR, as well as possibly some other cryptocurrencies, will see a gold wave on this day. What's this gold wave now? To put it simply, it is the tokenization of real assets, particularly precious metals. According to the statistics, the primary tokenization that we observe on various public ledgers and blockchains is for precious metals. Naturally, this could result in trillions of dollars being traded on various cryptocurrency blockchains. This is particularly exciting news for the industry leaders, who are working to make this a reality and have the support of some of the biggest names in the world, including BlackRock and many others. Thus, this will be our first topic of discussion before moving on to some other fascinating news. This is pretty damn cool, so you guys need to listen very carefully. Pay attention. Let's discuss the current surge in tokenized commodities. Ethereum is still growing and is essentially the preferred blockchain for tokenized goods. Additionally, there is more activity in this area. Here is an example of an asset type that is still in use on RWA: precious metals. Who do you suppose is purchasing this? This is still outperforming everything, including precious metals, and then you go into agriculture and, well, nothing. Who, in your opinion, is purchasing gold based on asset class performance, particularly when it comes to RWA? It's an excellent query. I'm not sure who exactly is purchasing it, but it seems reasonable to me because, as you may know, many of these other tokenized things are not like that. And once more, I'm not as familiar with them as you are. But I can see why individuals would want to do that if these things allow for delivery. Precious metals can be delivered, but farms and many other tokenized assets are not so simply delivered. And, perhaps there is a realization that the message that would entice someone to invest in precious metals or cryptocurrencies is comparable in many ways. Perhaps this kind of thinking is beginning to spread. It's separating from the recklessness of our fiscal policy and the insanity of our monetary policy. Thus, these things line up. And I believe that the difference is that, generally speaking, those who invest in cryptocurrencies are motivated by profit, but those who are interested in purchasing precious metals are not. They are more worried about preservation and the future than anything else. Perhaps this level of agreement or this similar way of thinking is beginning to seep into the crypto world, which would be fantastic in my opinion. I've been attempting to do that for a while. In order for us to keep bridging these two groups, my company will be making certain special announcements that you are somewhat aware of in the near future. Additionally, I believe it to be crucial and quite necessary: the joining of these two villages. I believe that if the hard asset and cryptocurrency communities are united rather than mutually exclusive, we are much stronger, our message is stronger, and our goals are all much more compelling. Absolutely. To your point, of course. Yes, I would like to show you a clip. This is Tiananmen's CEO. He has been on the show a few times. A fascinating man. Additionally, he elaborates on the concept of tokenized commodities. However, look at this. From tangible to digital. You guys have any plans to develop something similar? We will have introduced gold bars by the time the show ends, in my opinion. 1 ounce of gold bars is equivalent to 1 NFT. In addition to receiving a certificate of ownership, you can actually view the actual gold. Since storage costs are typically significant, we provide it for free. After connecting your wallet and purchasing the NFT, you can trade it, hold it, give it as a gift, or do anything else. Okay, so as you can see, they are headquartered in Switzerland, but the important thing is that they debuted that here, and it's sold out. What they are attempting to implement has enormous potential. In a moment, I will discuss the blockchain. Do you have any immediate plans to move tokenized assets, particularly commodities, in that direction? I am aware that you may currently purchase any metal, silver, gold, or platinum on a Miles Franklin. Is there anything in the hopper? Indeed. I am Glint's contact in the United States. Another member of the panel you are moderating will be Jason Cousins, the CEO of Glint. And Jason and I have talked about this a lot. We certainly have a lot of ideas, plans, and hopes behind this, but I'm not attempting to imply that it will happen tomorrow. Additionally, Glint's exceptional technology is integrated into their app, and metal is stored and distributed in Brinks, Switzerland. In fact, I think it's beautiful and classy. Yes, we are considering it. Something similar happened to me 5 or 6 years ago when I worked for the Royal Canadian Mint at a firm named Trade Wines to introduce a digital version of their gold. Additionally, they made the error of allowing a blockchain system based on private permissions to remain in the ecosystem. This is really awesome. All right, in essence, what we are witnessing here is a significant shift in the trading of gold and other precious metals, as well as their eventual expansion in accessibility. In my opinion, fractionalized ownership of some things will eventually be possible, which will be really awesome. People will have a piece of everything you can think of, such as a work of art, real gold, a certain kind of museum artifact, or something similar. Additionally, people will be able to sell their fractional ownership and it will have some real value. Other big businesses, including BlackRock, are also trying to take advantage of this. Additionally, they want to do this with actual land and real estate. Very fascinating material. And so, this is sort of where I think the future is going, isn't it? I believe that there will come a time when real estate and very desirable markets with incredibly high cap rates will be the norm. For instance, these towers in Abu Dhabi, of which you can purchase perhaps 0.01% for $1,000. You can then get a return on your investment from that 0.01%. It's essentially a digital tokenization of real estate assets, and it will have verified ownership unlike the real estate systems we currently have. You are aware that owning gold makes this impossible. However, blockchain technology makes it possible for you to access very alluring investments. All right, so we're talking about enormous structures that you would never have the funds to work on previously. Now that you may participate, you can truly earn a highly alluring cap rate. Therefore, I do believe that tokenization of real-world assets is incredibly transformative. Furthermore, I believe that HBAR, the XRPL, and a few other cryptocurrencies are in a far better position than others to seize this opportunity. Bitcoin is certainly out of the question. It moves quite slowly. Transactions of any kind cannot be handled by it. You can't undertake Layer 2 development to make these kinds of things a reality unless you're using Lightning. However, you can use XRP for this. This can be done on a HBAR. This might be applied to a wide variety of other cryptocurrencies. Therefore, that is simply amazing. Thus, having said that, there are regions of the world where this development is truly taking off. And I believe that governments everywhere should take a look at it immediately because, if they don't, they will fall behind in this race. And other nations will undoubtedly innovate, grow, and prosper 1,000,000 times faster than they will. As an illustration, consider Abu Dhabi. As we can see here at CZ Binance, the CEO, or more accurately, the founder, of the biggest cryptocurrency exchange globally claims that Abu Dhabi is the global hub for blockchain and artificial intelligence. He's correct too. I mean, it was not long ago that I visited Dubai,